I'm Austin, and this is Dungeons and Dracon Beams.
Previously on Dungeons and Dracon Beams, Kinsley stepped out of the heavy metal doors of her school and scanned the parking lot for Zach. The idling buses made it difficult to hear anything, and the students were emotion dazzled in front of her eyes. A blonde mass of curls caught her attention here, or a laugh there, but it wasn't him. Clark shouldered past her, cross-talking to some girl making eyes at him about some stupid group, the Share. As she twisted away from him, she saw Peter folding himself into a car like the thing her ex Brian was obsessed with. Slender Man? Some kind of monster thing. Anyways, that's what she thought as he compressed into the Mustang. And that's when she saw him. Zach. Was that him in the back of the car? She bolted, and she almost made it all the way across the parking lot, dodging cars and bikes when the Mustang began to slowly pull off. She faded out running when the brake lights snapped on. No way. She jogged up to the Mustang, and there he was, Zach. She gathered up her courage before asking him to the dance. And he said no? What the hell? She tuned back in to hear him asking her to go with their group, and she looked at Dylan, Kamren, Peter crumpled into the front seat, and then the quiet girl, and then Zach. Fine. If this was her shot, then fine. A few minutes later, Peter was unfolding his long legs from the Mustang and heading into his house. As he watched through the window, Dylan's car pulled away, and he headed out to the garage to dig out his longboard from storage with a smile on his face. Across town, the kids arrived at Pacific Towers. The board person working at the desk rolled their eyes at the boisterous group that walked into the lobby. She recognized the two of them that lived there, the jock guy and the quiet girl, so she didn't stop them. And a few minutes later, the quiet one came back through with a cute dog. Deciding that was the perfect stopping point, she headed to the bathroom. Panning upstairs, the cold, gelatinous mushroom gravy spilled around the popcorn, soaking it in savory, salty goo. Kamren started shoveling it into his mouth while he and Dylan argued. Dylan tried to get him to understand where she was coming from and why they were going to the dance as a group instead of with their respective dates. Kamren was deflecting her attempts to justify it. Zach steps into this trap unsuspectingly when he joins them in the kitchen for water, and after peppering him with thought experiments and situationships, it hit him. They were trying to ask him to leave the group. It's a moment of horror, and then quick relief as he realized this was not what they were asking him to do, and then back to horror again as a warm, nice group hug was juxtaposed by Cameron's cold, gooey, gravy hands. The elevator dings, announcing the arrival of Savannah and Possum, but they aren't alone. Craig has joined them in Xander's place. Lines of code move faster than the comprehension of human, Andalite, or any of the respective species that this group is aware of. As Craig pulls up the checklist of information that Xander gave him access to, he starts opening the complex calendar and traversing through code language for days, weeks, months, years, and then his programming converts it into human understanding of time as he informs them that Sub-Visser 11 will arrive Wednesday to start running some Earth invasion. Next item, Visser 4. He has a strike team in the galaxy, and he's running the numbers now. He is unlikely to come to Earth. As they start to ask him questions, synapses and electric currents and radio signals all converge in a technology hundreds, maybe of thousands of years old, crafted into an approximation of an organic brain that spits out the answers to what type of crew is on Visser 3's blade ship, mostly human, reporting back on Xander's failed attempts to place his own people at the military base, and then the warning message letting the humanimals know that the Yeerks are on the lookout for any animals around bases and strongholds. And as the group asks him more questions, information on GLEAT biofilters, Sub-Visser 11's connections to Visser 1, all of this reformatting into a conversation. Truly an impressive feat of engineering went into creating the Chi, current allies of the humanimals. The team tries to process all of this information and decides to scout out the military base to see what they can glean before they get the blueprints the following day. But not today. Today, Kamren had a good day. Zach decides to meet up with Peter. Kamren decides to join him. Dylan and Savannah head out to dinner. It was a good day. As the sun sets and darkness creeps over Ocean Grove, Savannah is asleep in her bed, the room around her quiet, but in her head she has control of Aximili's body and hears his hatred and his resentment as she forces him to commit yet another act of war. Her team, her friends, are caught up in it, and they writhe and die in the hellacious landscape of the Yeerk pool, all of her worst fears realized. And then the alarms start to go off. They have a mission. And that's where we are now.
My name's Kamren.
My name is Zach.
My name is Savannah.
My name is Aximili Escaruth Estil.
My name is Dylan.
What's worse than homework, parents, and acne?
Betrayal.
War.
Murder?
Brussels sprouts.
Doing it all while trying to stop an alien invasion.
Duh.
Aliens that crawl into your ear and take over your brain.
Mimicking your every thought. Reliving all your memories.
Living life as you would. Flawlessly deceiving your friends, your family, pretending to be you.
I'd rather die.
Stay on script.
What's even worse?
Mr. Statoric.
The only thing that stands in the way of complete takeover of all humanity is 4 teenagers and an Andalite.
I am the Andalite.
Yeah, you're the Andalite.
We also have the ability to morph.
It's amazing.
An Andalite technology.
Stay on script. The ability to...
Right. The ability to turn into any animal we can touch.
Lions.
Tigers.
Orangutans.
We must be extremely cautious. We can't trust anyone, thanks to my...
Kamren.
Okay, you read it then.
Fine. We can't trust anyone. Controller or not.
We have seen what happens when we are too trusting.
So now, there's only us.
Only us.
Only us.
Only us.
Because anyone could be compromised. Anyone at all, can be a controller.
Yeah, dude. Even you.
Savannah.
I think she is going to go take a really quick shower and then just get back into her morph suit, and she'll go out and wake Dylan and Kamren up if they aren't already awake.
You have to wake Kamren up.
Try to be gentle about it unless he doesn't get up.
I think Dylan has also set an alarm, so she's up.
Kamren will take off like the shirt he was sleeping in and put on his tight Under Armour morph suit shirt. Do some stretches and say, "So, are we doing this?"
No. I just thought we would get up now and hang out.
Oh. What? And as he says that, your phone vibrates.
Savannah will check her phone.
It is a message from Craig. And it says, where would you like to meet me in the morning? I have contacted our friend and I have some things to give you.
That's not too far. So actually, if they're not giving us... Are they giving us physical stuff? Is that what he's saying? He actually has some...
Yes, he has things to give you.
All right, then I'll just text back that we'll meet him after school.
Sounds good. You're up early.
Yep. She's going to type yes back to him.
He won't say anything else. He's been on Earth long enough to pick up, what is it, cadence? Something?
I don't think it's a tone or anything. Just agreeing with his observation. Yes, we are up early. All right. And then I think Savannah will tell them what she just talked to him about. Like, just relay back to Kamren and Dylan that, you know, he has stuff for us so we can pick it up after school.
Did you get a hold of Axe?
With the SpongeBob? He did assure me he was going to put on SpongeBob for them, if that's what you mean.
Yeah. I mean, to come with us.
I think Savannah texted it to Axe. I don't know if Axe responded. I don't know if we got into that. So you tell me, Austin, GM Austin, player of Aximili.
I don't remember a text going to him. I know that you said you were going to text him, but you can say you did that the night before.
I think that was the intention, was to text him the night before.
All right. So after you kind of let Kamren know that, so you will hear the door to the roof open, and down the steps, some clip clops, a stumble, and then some more clip clops.
Smooth. And then Zach, I believe we said we were meeting there, so I don't believe we're waiting for Zach.
Yeah, you all said you were going to pick him up on the way, because his house is a couple of blocks from yours and on the way to the...
So I think once they're all there, he's ready to go.
Yes.
No time like the present.
And then Savannah will just open one of the windows and start going to Owl.
Cameron's going Owl as well. Aximili will go short-eared Owl, and I think Matea's going to go Hummingbird.
Dylan's going bat.
Nice. And yeah, everybody flies out the window and towards Zach's. Zach, did you set an alarm for yourself?
Yeah, Zach slept in his morph suit. Well, he slept in the pants and throws a shirt on. And he is in the air by the time you get there. He's decided to try to be punctual for once.
What morph did you go?
He is a great horned owl.
Yeah, you see them.
I'm like keeping an eye on Pacific Towers. I think if it's only a couple blocks from high up, I'm just watching and waiting. And whenever they're close enough that I think they're in thought speak range, I'm just going to be like, hey, ready.
All right, then let's head towards the military base.
Cool. Like, complete his he's going in circles. He meets up more or less with the group and then goes with them.
You guys fly over Ocean Grove towards the military base, and it'll take you 20 minutes from Pacific Towers to get there. Fort Perrin is a smaller military base, an army base, and the warehouse housing the spaceship that Zach saw sits in a compound towards the southeast. The whole base is walled off, but this area has its own walls within the base surrounding the building, and there are a few other buildings that surround it just in like this cluster. Soldiers can be seen going about their duties in the early morning, getting the day started, or just going for runs for exercise, checking supplies. There aren't a lot of people in the general area, with the exception of around the warehouse. Before you all get any closer, like the whole base is within your all's sight because you can see crazy distances. Dylan, I don't think bats can see too far, but people are relaying information back to you.
I mean, I'm sure I can hear what's going on really well.
How are you all approaching?
I think as naturally as possible. I mean, I don't believe like we're flying in a formation or right on top of each other. It's probably like spaced out, going in quietly. But as they approach and are kind of, I feel like still pretty far out, just to make sure that like nobody gets accidentally seen or anything, especially after the warning from Craig and Xander last time. I think Savannah will just like pop in and say, let's stay far apart, don't get too close, and maybe we'll just approach one at a time. I can go in close first.
I'm going to respond. Do you want to do it from different directions too? Like, I could kind of fly around to the north and come in that way?
I think we should all kind of head to a different side. Yeah.
Austin, are there any big lights?
Like on the base?
Yeah.
Give me a perception check, and I'll have Kamren help you. He's like looking and surveying the area as well.
Okay.
With a 20, with your like echolocation, you are like picking up objects. There's a lot of buildings around you as you all are still approaching, but you do hit one that you kind of, it's on like top of a building, and Kamren will say, whoa, they got one of those big spotlights down there. So yeah, there's a light.
So then Dylan is going to thought speak to the group, but talking to Savannah and say, do you want me to do some swoops through and pretend like I'm going after big bugs and try and get close and hear stuff?
Not yet. We know that they're going after any animals, especially around the bases, so let's make sure that we're a little bit more clear than that before you start going in. It's not a bad idea. I just want to be more careful than
Zach
that.
is going to be kind of circling around the southeast side around this zone and then coming in from the north.
Anything special you guys want to do as you start to spread around the base a little bit? And Savannah, you said you're going in?
Yeah, listening really hard to everything around the base, and she wants to take a flight path like kind of through the middle. Like she's trying to catch conversation. She's trying to hear what people are saying, particularly around the area that has the ship and everything that they know is there.
As you're like listening, you're kind of like, your head's kind of darting so you can check everywhere and kind of hear conversations. You do hear kind of a lot of voices that are starting to gather. And as you're like looking in, they're not near the warehouse. They're like a wall behind another wall and like coming out of another building. Some of these people are like yawning, but they're saying, so what time is the officer supposed to be giving us the brief? And just chitter chatter about, there's basically a meeting coming up.
She'll relay that back to the larger group as it's happening, as she's going through there.
And as everybody else kind of spreads off, Zach, you can make a perception check. And I'll say Kamren and Dylan already kind of did theirs, but I'll give Matea and Max 1, 2.
I get advantage, so that's a dirty 20. Where are they, by the way? Did anyone come with me?
I'll say if Savannah is coming in from like the direct south and you went to the south.
I went to the northeast.
Northeast. I'll say Dylan is kind of like staying at the south, if that's okay, like near where Savannah is. And after like them looking, Kamren will like kind of bank off and head your way, still staying with distance. The other two will go to the west.
So 3 different locations, like triangulating. I'm looking to make entrance onto the base, like crossing the perimeter or whatever, as far between buildings or whatever as I can, so that like it's a low population area.
Yeah, you notice as you're flying around, you see the warehouse that you saw before, and it has like that shimmer to it that you can kind of see through it. Not super clear, but clear enough that you know that it's a hologram. But there are 4 people standing on the rooftop, and one of them has a rifle trained right at Savannah, like looking through the scope.
The people are not a hologram. The people are real.
People are real.
But they're standing on a hologram?
Yes.
Then you've got someone aiming a gun at you, and they're standing on a building that looks like a hologram. And if it's an identifiable building, like, oh, the blue one, you know what I mean? Like, I'm going to identify which building it is.
She'll change course, looking for sort of a more natural cover. Like, she's still kind of between trying to be low-key and act like an owl. So if there's, tall grass, trees, that kind of thing, she's going to head towards that, but try to get out of open air.
I'll say, like, within the base, there are some trees planted around, but it all the grass seems to be pretty well kept.
Sure.
Give me a performance, like just acting as like an owl.
All right. Oh boy, you really don't like to give me shit that I can do.
Can I argue for Savannah that there should be some kind of a bonus because this is a natural animal performance?
I feel like that would be under animal handling, though.
Highly trained on like what animals would do.
Yeah, you could argue that, but my counter argument is that these people are on the lookout for any animal at all.
Okay.
And even if it gave her advantage, like...
I know.
She rolled the same.
She rolled the same thing.
Now that Zach's pointed that out, Savannah, you spot the guy, and you see the building and everything. You see the shimmer in it, and he keeps his gun trained on you as you like go to land.
She's not landing. She's trying to break up like basically if you can get a tree between her and the rifle so it's a harder shot, but without making it look like she's banking immediately towards the trees, like that's what she's trying to do. She's not trying to stop though.
So there are like trees within this base. There's no real forest or anything like that. So you would have to like keep like ducking back and forth behind trees. And I'll say he's keeping you in his sights, but Zach, you can also see him like talking to a walkie that he has pinned to his shoulder. And he'll say, we have an owl within the perimeter, keeping an eye on it. Copy. Aximili, though, will say, these guards, they are not falling through the roof when it is clearly a hologram. Some hollow fields can generate solid surfaces. It takes a greater amount of energy to achieve this. The Yeerk's technology, as far as I know, is not that advanced. They would need massive generators to achieve this.
Can we see the generators? Thought to everybody that's on open thought speak to not everybody, to the team. Jesus, Austin, don't try to fucking trap me like that.
Yeah.
I see some generators. It's Matea. It looks like they're inside the building.
Which building?
The inside the hologram. The one housing the ship.
Can I see in the building too? Like,
if you like want to fly around and get a closer look or something, to roll another perception check, you can.
I'm good. I'm just gonna ask, what's the guard situation like inside the building?
Within the building, I can see Hork-Bajir. I can see a few Taxon and humans on the ship.
Van, I've got 2 suggestions. I can either try to take out the dude with the gun, or I could go in the building and go Hork-Bajir and just try to blend in.
Well, I don't know that we want to start the fight right now before we have the blueprints, but getting into the building is a lot harder, correct? They have the GLEET biofilter, the motion sensors, the light and dark detectors, the pressure plates, the lasers that are trained on things. I'm not sure that a Hork-Bajir would get... I mean, it certainly wouldn't get in undetected, but I don't believe it would get in without getting seriously hurt, unauthorized.
If I could find a good entrance, I could go in as a Yeerk and then morph inside. Right, it won't detect me as a Yeerk, right?
Well, the GLEET biofilters won't, but I believe there's still many other security measures internally that we were told about that would absolutely detect you, especially morphing and changing shape.
Okay.
We do need to find a way in there, especially if the generators are in there, because that's how we can shut this all down, but I don't know that we can just waltz in there.
Well, these dudes got on the roof somehow. Is there like an obvious trapdoor or anything, Austin?
No, not one that's obvious.
So I'm just going to keep my eye on them and see if I can spot one of them going in and out or something.
Yeah, you're kind of circling from a distance.
Yeah. As far away as I can, honestly.
Dylan, anything you want to do?
I think that Dylan is keeping an ear out and just waiting for the go-ahead from Savannah to start doing sweeps. So I'm gonna find some place to perch so that I'm not just wearing out my wings.
So outside of the base, there are buildings. There's street lights, just things that you would see in a city. You can kind of perch on anyone there.
Is there anything that's like just inside the base, like a tree or the side of a building where people aren't exactly paying attention to?
Just inside the walls, Dylan, you do see that there are these towers that kind of sit to the southeast and northwest of the building that your friends are talking about. You can't see through this building. It just looks like a regular warehouse to you.
Mm-hmm.
They are letting you know that it's this building, and you see that there are 2 towers that are pretty close to it. The light is on one of the towers. I'll say that there are some trees that are kind of along the wall that you're near that you could kind of flutter down into.
Yeah, I'm gonna swoop down into those trees.
Make me a stealth check.
All right.
Yeah, no, you don't think anybody sees you. You get into this tree.
Sweet. It's a little clumsy, though. You guys just hear, ouch, ouch, ow. I'm okay.
Eventually, when Savannah has exited the area, she'll thought speak back to Zach and say, "Does the guy still see me?"
Yeah, I'm keeping my eye on these guys on the roof, so what are they doing?
When you're exiting that area, Savannah, how far do you go?
She's going to err on the side of caution and loop out relatively far, exiting the base for sure, and then taking a wide loop back around to the south.
Give me a stealth check.
I mean, I don't know why you do this to me.
he keeps his gun trained on you until you get outside of the base a little ways. And then Zach, you see him kind of like look away and just kind of look in different places within the base, just keeping an eye out now. But he doesn't seem to be watching Savannah anymore.
As soon as he turns away from Savannah, I'm going to just tell her direct thought speak. Private thought speak, I mean. Oh, you're clear. He's lost interest. He's looking at someone else. Or he's looking around for someone else. And I'm looking where he's looking to see if anybody on our team is in the way. The smallest thing here is a hummingbird, right? So I should be able to see any of that.
Yeah, and because of like thought speak communication, you guys kind of know where each other are at. Like you're keeping tabs on each other. He doesn't seem to be looking in anybody's immediate direction. He's just looking out.
If it gets like, I assume he's kind of like scanning. So if he's like going to be looking towards where Axe is soon, I'm going to be like, Axe, make yourself scarce.
As you watch him and like kind of go to warn him, like when he's going to be facing that way, he does like turn away and then like look another way, but he seems to be focusing on a quadrant because you see 3 other people on the roof as well. All of them kind of surveying different areas.
Do they also have guns?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I didn't know that. Okay then. I'm just trying to keep general tabs then. It's going to be a lot less specific. So I'm trying to keep a basic eye on a generally good idea of where these 4 different dudes are looking.
And are those lights pretty accurate to like where it would be lit up, like along the top side of the buildings, or top side of the warehouse rather?
Yes, with the exception of there's 2 spotlights, one that Dylan saw in this bottom right corner here, and another in this top left corner here. These are movable spotlights.
Okay.
And we don't see, there's no door in the middle of that roof.
No, you don't see a door on the roof.
Okay. Do these guys ever look back towards the center of the roof, or are they steady scanning the outside?
For the most part, they scan the outside. Every now and then, they'll kind of like look over to each other and clear. They just say clear.
Okay.
So like they do look over their shoulders every now and then.
Once Savannah gets back to the sort of south side and can kind of get back, like basically loop around, she's gonna get a little bit higher up and try to keep an eye on these guards. Is that possible to kind of like, or even like land somewhere but like keep hearing and kind of be able to see them? Is there anything close enough to do that?
Within the base, there are like the buildings you kind of see around, like that's in the immediate area. Yeah. There's a dog barking like somewhere off in the background, but outside the base there are like taller buildings than the walls, but they sit a ways away from the wall, so you could get on one of those buildings and kind of try to look in, but it would be outside the base.
That's okay. I think Savannah's going to float up higher then and try to get over top of this warehouse building, but stay high up. And then she's going to thought speak to Dylan and say, like she'll broadcast it to the group, but it's directed at Dylan of like, Dylan, what I would like to do is to see if we can maybe direct you around, use that echolocation to see some things, but stay out of line of sight. And I think maybe I can help you with that from up here.
You got it, boss. And she's gonna get out of the tree.
Was that to the group, the thought speak?
Yeah, it was, everyone could hear it. She was asking Dylan to do it to use that echolocation, but everyone can hear it. So if she's saying she's keeping an eye out, but I'm not opposed to multiple people keeping eyes out.
Was Dylan's response to the group?
Yeah.
I say, that's Prince Boss.
Oh, you're right. Sorry. Yes, Prince Boss.
And then I do start keeping an eye out.
Zach, have you flown? Like you can see these guards pretty good from like right outside the base, like where you were flying. But if you want to get in to kind of see behind these walls, like down within everything, and kind of keep a lookout, you have to get a little bit closer.
So, because of the way flight and angles work, I'm basically trying to make like a really big loop, right? That kind of goes in around the outside of the base, and then like maybe down around the other corner, and then back. So it's like a really long loop, but I am staying pretty well clear of everything. If there is still blind spots for me, I might start risking like going up over the edge on my whenever I'm turning. You know what I mean? Like kind of make more like a figure 8, but it's still like kind of around both edges, so like around the corner.
Okay, and I'll say Kamren is not like right by you. He's flying like opposite way of you, like circling as well. But also Aximili and Matea are kind of fluttering around as well. We're gonna make some rolls.
I like rolls. What kind of rolls?
I could leave them.
Butter rolls.
Ryan's buttered yeast rolls.
Texas Roadhouse.
Zach, you can make me perception check and performance, like because you're acting like an owl.
That sounded so much like you were about to tell Nate that he was acting like an asshole and then at the last minute corrected.
Also true. I get to use Zach's performance abilities, right?
Right.
Okay. Then that has advantage, so it's 20. 21 on perception, 20 on performance. I'm just an owl doing owl shit.
Dylan, if you want to roll me another stealth check.
Oh, why though?
But I'm already so stealthy.
I don't understand why bats are so bad at dex. I just want to put that out there. Because they need
Great
to be more
question.
stealthy because they're bats.
What's their dex?
Bad.
+2.
That's pretty good.
It's freaking bad.
It's not. It's freaking bats.
I'll give you advantage on. Zach, you see the guy to this guy right here, the top left of the building, train his rifle towards Aximili.
Max, Northwest gunman is trained on you. Evasive maneuvers, but fly casual.
And then you also see the same guy that was looking Savannah's way start training on Dylan as she's like fluttering through the air.
Dylan Southeast is looking at you. Van, I think we are running out of time. They're going to catch on soon.
Yep, I agree. This should be our last sweep before we get out of here.
Or go in.
Dylan's gonna look for a bug.
Want to roll perception?
I have advantage. Oh.
That's not hard. You can find a bug.
Okay, I'm gonna swoop and grab it. And I'm gonna try and make sure this guy sees me swoop to a bug.
Roll performance.
I ain't performing, I'm trying to eat a bug.
Or deception.
I don't like either of those things, man. They're both charisma. Come on, I don't have any charisma. Can I use Dylan's?
For charisma, yes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
He'll go on his
Suck it.
walkie-talkie and say, I have a bat down here, but it looks to be normal. It's just eating insects. I have another owl over here. And we'll have Max roll deception. I have let the owl take over. And you see him just dive down and pick up there's a mouse, and he just picked up a mouse, so he's probably good. I'll keep an eye on him. So they do still watch you both, like Max and Dylan, but they don't seem to be doing anything else but watching.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep swooping, and as I'm swooping, I'm trying to find bugs and eat them. And as I eat them, like as I crunch into each little moth, I'm like, fuck, this is so gross. Oh god, no.
Dude, are you eating bugs?
Yeah, I'm eating bugs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You gotta do what you gotta do.
I read an article once that said that insects were the protein of the future.
It's a good thing I don't need it. I don't need it. I don't need it. What's worse is that it kind of tastes good right now.
Those are inside thoughts, so you can just keep those to yourself.
Well, I did think I'm inside.
No, you thought I'm outside.
All thoughts thoughts
We can all hear
are
them.
inside thoughts. Just because you can hear them doesn't mean that they're not inside thoughts.
I feel like this is a philosophical quandary that we don't have time to explore right now, but I disagree.
She chomps really loud to make sure that he can hear it.
I do hear it. That's the worst part. It's like, you know when someone's eating cereal in the same room as you? It's just all crunches and slurps. It's the same.
Mouth sounds. She's doing mouth sounds right now.
Right now, they just seem to be watching. They don't seem to be taking any actions.
Dylan, do you want to do a pass of the building, see if your echolocation can pick up anything, and then we'll get out of here and reconvene a little ways off?
Yep.
You can roll another perception check, Dylan, and if anybody else is looking.
And I have advantage.
Yeah, and Savannah's keeping an eye out for Dylan. Like, she's above this, kind of watching down, trying to help her out, so. Do I get to roll it too? Can I roll perception too?
You can roll perception. I'm going to say Max is preoccupied. Cam's watching Max. Dude, he's going to town on that mouse. Snap out of it, man. Snap out of it.
Aximili, once you finish that mouse, please leave the area.
Whatever you're done with that mouse.
I mean, don't drop it halfway through. That's
just wasteful.
It's just wasting a mouse you already had to kill.
Yeah, that boy loves taste. You know he's having a good time.
He's having a time.
Zach, you're pretty much keeping an eye on the people up top and you're watching them, but you do see like the gathering of people that were kind of waiting around for the officer to come to give them a mission briefing. They start to get in formation in front of a stage.
Inside or outside?
Outside. Yeah, they're just gathering up there, waiting. Savannah, you're kind of watching out for Dylan, so I'll say any stealth checks she makes now are going to have advantage. And you notice this one lone guy kind of walking around the east side of the building, and he's just kind of like scanning back and forth as he's walking. And then as you like look around to clear her way as well, you see two other guys come around the corner from the southwest, and they just turn to, they look like they're just walking a perimeter. Dylan, with your echolocation, you kind of hit the hologram, and it does like a weird sound back to you, not something like a normal solid surface would be. It you can tell that there's something there, and if you ran into it, it would stop you, but it just sounds different, I guess. You also pick up two other figures walking along this road to the north, and then three figures standing just stationed outside of a door on the north side. That seems to be the only entrance that any of you all have noticed.
I relay all of that back to the group. And then I thought speak, hey, I'm getting kind of full here. I don't know how much more room I have for bugs.
Zach is gonna private thought speak to Savannah and just be like, man, there are so many people here. There's like, I don't know how we're gonna get in this place unless we just bum rush it, and that's not gonna be good. Unless we can record some of these dudes. Like, I don't want to do that. They've got to sleep sometime. Like, maybe we can get one of them at home or something. I mean, I'm reaching here, but I don't know how we're going to do this.
Well, I think most of them will probably reside on this base, correct?
Right, but their barracks probably aren't going to be as highly guarded as this warehouse.
No, but even if we can get in, there's so many defense mechanisms in there. I think we're going to have to find a way to disarm some things and sneak in.
No, Van, I'm talking about doing the full Yeerk morph. Make a controller out of another one of us temporarily. I think we're going to have to go whole hog on it. I just don't know how else we're going to get in.
Yeah, potentially.
I don't want to sound defeatist, but like I'm watching these dudes, they're on point. They've clocked like 3 or 4 of us already. And somehow they haven't shot. I don't even know how that's possible. You would think Yeerks would have just shot anything. But like, I don't know. And they've got some kind of an event coming up. So they should all be pretty well distracted right now. I can only imagine how bad this will be if there wasn't one of these, I don't know, some kind of officer doing a briefing or whatever. It's only going to get worse. And Zach's keeping all this private because he doesn't want to like distress everyone.
We still haven't even seen any of the guards actually enter this building. We have no idea if any of these well-armed human, possibly controllers, are even able to access this building.
Yeah. Or how to even, I mean, you might get in through a tunnel underground. I don't know.
Maybe, but we can assume all of these people are controllers.
I would. At least the guards.
I believe everyone at this warehouse is, according to the information we have.
Yeah.
We'll need to find an even stealthier way in. Let's see what the blueprints give us. Maybe we know that there's some sort of intake valves. Maybe there's some of those that we can take in, or find a way to shut down different parts of the systems and sneak in. But I don't think we're going to be able to do it like this.
Yeah. Maybe bugs. Bacteria. I don't know.
I think definitely bugs.
Dylan, I will say, as like you do your swoop and do the echolocation, it takes you getting a little bit closer to the building, and this guy like kind of like chambers around into his gun and is like pointing it at you as you get a little bit closer.
Do I see him do that?
Zach definitely does, and I'll say, yeah, you notice that with your echolocation.
If Zach sees it, he breaks off the conversation to announce it.
Is there a bug nearby?
There is.
I swoop and grab it, and then I swoop away.
Roll me one more perception check.
Okay.
Me too?
Yeah. This is more for the echolocation, but you can kind of get a lay of the land as Dylan. This last burst of echolocation, you do get on like the south side of the building. There is a pipe that comes out of the building to the wall of like that surrounds the building, and then like right on the other side of the wall, it goes down into the ground.
Okay. As she swoops away, Dylan's going to be like, "Hey guys, we got a pipe on the south. It goes right into the building, but then it goes underground."
All right, let's get out of here.
Zach, I will say you hear this speech start from like this officer that is now on stage. It starts.
So I'm listening, but I also want to look. And 2 things. Could I, in any way, analyze this speech, like his speech patterns, to see if it matches the speech patterns of any particular Andalites that we know? Or, you know what I mean? Anything like that.
So Mateo or Max?
I don't know, like if he's trying to mimic Visser Three, or if it's like, you know what I mean? Like if he's trying to pretend to be somebody.
Give me an insight check.
Or like, you know, if he sounds like a Yeerk, kind of is what I'm going for. But.
So you have advantage on that. He could be an Andalite.
Sure, why not? It's more like, it's not like I think he's an Andalite, but like wondering if he is trying to sound like one, if that makes sense. Like he's trying to position himself as one.
He could be.
Yeah, it's fine. Anyway, well, I'm also watching like the speech and like reactions from people.
Yeah, so like the way he's carrying himself, he seems like what you would think an army officer would be. But that's pretty similar to an Andalite.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. So I don't get anything off this.
He says, I've gathered you all here today to tell you about your next deployment. You'll all be shipping out next month to train some soldiers in Australia as part of our country's duty to the UN. You will all be trained on how to do that up until that time, to be our ambassadors. These 2 soldiers standing on each side of me will do the training. It is an honor and a privilege to have Fort Perrin to be chosen for this mission, and I expect you all to remember that. You'll all start today with PT led by Commander Vernon, and after that you'll attend the diplomatic relations class with Corporal Sonata. Make us proud, soldiers. And the officer turns to one of the women at his side, and he says, "They're all yours, Commander Vernon." And Commander Vernon doesn't waste any time. "Fall in line, stay on my count," she says. She then takes them on a run through the military base.
So I imagine I'm overhearing a lot of the soldiers talking amongst themselves, saying things like, "You picked a bunch of soldiers to be diplomats to Australia, and we're gonna train their army?"
You don't hear that because they fall in line and are quiet and pick up her count.
Got it.
Can I ask for one more thing as we're headed out?
Yeah.
When Dylan mentioned that pipe that's coming out of the building, Savannah, I would like her to try and focus on it to see if she can hear the rush of water through it, the hum of electricity through it, what is in there.
Okay, so for this, I'm going to give you disadvantage because you're like listening through a pipe and focusing on it. So like, just to make it a little harder, but you have advantage, so it evens out to a roll.
Flat roll. Okay.
Yeah, you hear running liquid moving through this pipe.
That's what I thought.
It's poop, isn't it? You're gonna make us go through poop.
I'm not going to not make you go through poop.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shawshank.
Okay.
Where are you guys headed?
I'm following.
East.
Mm-hmm.
You guys all make it out.
Woohoo.
Zach, I will say you noticed looking in at the building, you could see through like the hologram and see that it was a hologram, but it was hard to make out things in there. And you realized that your duck vision was a little better for seeing through it than your owls.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay, so on the flight back, I'll just relay that to the team. Like, you know, I saw this the other day when I was morphed as a duck, and it seemed like it was easier to tell what was inside the building. You know, I thought owls saw better than ducks, but like, I guess I was wrong. Maybe ducks have supervision, right? Van, is that how that works? Like, ducks can just see extremely good? I didn't know that.
Through the surface of water, they can.
Yeah, it's like polarized.
I didn't even think I thought ducks lived in like normal areas. They live in the Arctic? Like at the poles? Or Antarctic? Like penguins?
Like sunglasses.
I will not dignify that.
Oh, got you. Okay. Ray-Bans. Got it.
So how was that mouse, Max? It was... I had not tasted in anything but a human form before, and it was extreme. It was warm, and it satisfied me. That's gross, dude. No, it is food, dude.
So we found a food that Kamren doesn't want to eat. Got it.
Kamren, you should try moths on your next sandwich.
I try to draw the line at bugs, but if you're recommending it, I try to. Sometimes bugs get in things. You can't stop every bug.
It's a motto. Like that's a good motto. You can't stop every bug.
Yeah. You heard it here first.
So is there like a bird that's got duck vision, but like even better than ducks? Like a goose?
Like an eagle? Or an osprey?
Oh, okay. Because they're like ducks?
They're like ducks in the fact that where they feed is in water.
Okay. So, we just need to get those then? Is that something we can do?
I have one of those. I do too.
The issue is going there during the day.
We could do a distraction. Or we could all be ducks. We could just fly in formation overhead.
I don't know that would stop them from shooting us out of the sky.
Okay.
They could see us as owls at night and a bat and thought about shooting us. I'm not sure that we should pass over during the day when they have the advantage.
Hey, what about an octopus?
They can't fly, dude.
No, but they have camouflage, so like maybe I could get in there and like hide real good. Because octopuses can they can live outside of water, right?
For a time.
And how would you get in there, Zach?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. It's just ideas. Okay. Bad idea, I guess.
Well, with what we know now. But perhaps something like a spider, something smaller.
Mm-hmm. Spider, flies, fleas, mosquitoes, gnats, like fruit flies. I'm trying to think of other stuff that can fly.
Perhaps we could get in closer if we use that hummingbird morph, because those are probably not going to get shot, I would imagine. I can't imagine it would be any easier than shooting a snipe, which is where sniper comes from. That doesn't matter. If we took a hummingbird, perhaps we could do something with insects, like we could do the spiders or something like that, but they could get us in closer, and we could get a closer look.
We all hop aboard the Matea Express.
If Maitea is willing.
Yes, I will help.
I still don't know that we will be able to get into the building, though.
Yeah, didn't Craig say that he doesn't know if the bugs can get through the Gleep biofilter things?
Correct. All we know currently is that a controller with a Yeerk can get through the Gleep biofilter.
And I didn't see any windows.
Didn't you say there was a pipe?
There is a pipe that seems to have liquid in it. Unfortunately, since so many liquids can be caustic, I'm not sure that that's going to be our best solution. Although potentially.
Maybe we could get blueprints or something and figure out where the pipe goes? That seems tough.
I think the blueprints will be our next best guess.
If we could damage the pipe, they would send somebody to fix it, and then we would just have to follow whoever has to go fix the... if you bust a hole in the pipe, they gotta go shut it off somewhere, right? So then we just follow the dude to wherever they shut the pipe off. And then maybe that's where we can get entrance to the pipe. Like if it's a filtration station or something. If it's water, you know what I mean? Or if it's some other chemical, I don't know. But we might be able to go in as fish, is what I'm trying to say.
What if it's not water in the pipe? What if it's gasoline or
poop?
Or poop? Or some horrific caustic fuel used only in specialized bug fighters from outer space?
If it's jet fuel or whatever, then obviously we just can't use that. If it's poop, then go in as a cockroach or something. I don't know.
How cool would it be if we could be tardigrades?
Are those animals?
Kinda.
We could then maybe be tardigrades.
No. Well, I don't know, but I wouldn't think, right?
Is this a form of bacteria?
No.
No, they're bigger
What is a
than that.
tardigrade?
It's a microscopic thing.
There may be an issue with that. Could you morph those? Most likely. But their brain functions would be so limited that you may lose yourself.
To the music?
To the tardigrade.
The moment you own it. That's spaghetti.
I would try some spaghetti, yes.
I'm so full right now, you guys. Please, no.
Oh, gross.
Hey, Dylan, how many bugs did you eat?
Oh man, it was like 20. It probably wasn't 20. It was probably like 7, but still, it was so many.
I thought I read that like bats eat like 10 times their body weight in bugs a night or something.
Not this bat. It's not this bat.
Well, not with that attitude.
No, you're right. I don't eat meat, man.
Well, your bat does.
Well, I heard we eat like 7 spiders a year or something, just in our sleep.
Yeah, that's true. I try to eat more.
Why would you say that?
Thought we were giving facts.
Just facts.
I gotta give Pip extra flies when I get home now.
Who's Pip?
My spider.
Oh,
You have a spider?
you got a spider?
Yeah.
That's cool as hell.
That's great. You can morph Pip.
Yeah, I can. I have it. Yeah.
Oh, nice. So how are we gonna get in this building? Or we want to do a spider thing? Because like that might work. There's probably cracks somewhere. We might have to do like where there's one person with the really good duck vision that can see through the building, and then like guiding some other people who are like bugs, and they get dropped off by like the hummingbird. So like it's gonna be like a 3-pronged attack, like a fork, a pitchfork, and maybe a fish, just for good measure. Just in case we get a fish, you know what I mean?
So a fork attack.
Yeah, that's like a 4-person attack. That's like an actual fork, not like a pitchfork.
We'll be getting blueprints tonight from Craig and some other things. Sorry, Zach, I didn't tell you that earlier. We're meeting him after school today, so we can probably figure it out then.
Okay. I was gonna hang out with Peter, but that's cool. That's cool.
Well, what are we gonna do for the 2 hours, 3 hours before school starts?
We could try to go home, go back to sleep for a bit. I apologize. I feel like I asked that wrong. What would you like to do?
I don't. Whatever.
We can make breakfast.
Ooh. I am in for that idea.
Oh, my Taya. Have you ever had breakfast?
The grass on the Andalite homeworld that we eat in the morning.
But with a human mouth.
I have not.
I'm so excited.
I'm gonna go to this. I was gonna go home and sleep, but nah.
Savannah, your place or mine?
Oh, with 2 Andalites, perhaps we should go back to mine.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, because my Taya can only be me. That might freak my dad out.
To everyone on the team except my Tia, I'm gonna say, should we maybe do something about that? Like, shouldn't she have a different option? She could do that thing like Max did and mix us all up.
Wait, what? That's how he got his human morph? It's like all of you?
Yes.
And some other people.
That's pretty cool.
You won't tell us how to do it, though. It is not as simple as telling you how to do it, Kamren.
So mad. He's sassy.
Savannah, do we need to go get groceries or anything? Or do you have, like, eggs, flour, bacon? I don't know. Obviously not bacon, but, like...
Oh, there's bacon.
Okay, Kamren got that covered.
I have eggs.
Awesome. Yeah, we'll figure it out. Do you have vegetables? You have vegetables. Of course you have vegetables.
I do have
Chocolate
vegetables.
chips.
It's what we eat, so...
We're gonna need chocolate chips, butterscotch chips, pecans,
Potato
I
chips.
do not have any of that. I don't have chocolate, butterscotch, or pecans.
Okay, we gotta go to the grocery store.
Okay,
Shopping trip.
get to Savannah's. You guys run out and grab chocolate chips and stuff. I'll start making all the other stuff.
Well, don't start making the eggs till we're back. You don't want them to be cold.
No, of course, duh, yeah. Think I've never cooked eggs before?
I don't know.
What if they're deviled eggs? Then you kind of want them cold.
Kinda, but have you ever had a warm deviled egg?
I haven't.
It's pretty good.
That's surprising.
It's pretty good.
Well, I've had like a warm one when they like sit out, like, you know, at like a party.
No, like fresh made.
Been on a windowsill for several hours.
You probably shouldn't eat those, by the way. That's probably... You're probably gonna get sick. Did you get sick?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I didn't get sick. So other people did.
Oh, but you have such a very vibrant and just differentiated gut biome that nothing could probably hurt you.
Oh, I hope so. I mean, I hope not. I hope.
Yeah, hold on to that.
All right, you guys get back to Pacific Towers.
Zach has to go home first to change and get his school stuff and get some money and a skateboard. So he peels off at his house and does all that and then leaves.
Do you want to say that we'll have agreed to meet up at a grocery store between our 2 mutual homes on the way back?
Kamren will actually say, Zach, why don't you grab all that stuff that we don't have at Savannah's at your house and bring it over?
Okay. No,
Rob
that's a really
Zach's
good idea.
parents.
Zach will 100% do that. He does not care. He gets, honestly, so much stuff. There's cereal. He gets all kinds of anything that is good in a pancake that he can think of, and probably some stuff that's not good in a pancake that he can think of.
Please name every item you grab for me.
Okay. All right. So there's frosted shredded wheats. There's Honey Nut Cheerios. There's Lucky Charms. There is Honey Chex. The Honey Nut Chex. Those shits are good. He gets a gallon. It's most of a gallon of 2% milk.
Fruity Pebbles. Please bring Fruity Pebbles.
Okay, he's got Fruity Pebbles. And some Takis. and Flamin' Hot Funyuns. Monster energy drinks. And he also gets like 3 different kinds of hot sauce. Steve has, hot sauces with names like Ass Scorcher and Hell Beast. You know what I mean? Like, so he gets some of those. And then like a bottle of Cholula, because let's be honest, you gotta have the good shit. He does not get a bottle of Frank's because no one should have that in their home.
Chocolate chips.
Oh yeah, chocolate chips, butterscotch chips, caramel chips. He just goes ahead and like gets some Skittles. Also, maybe those will be good in a pancake. He doesn't know. And at this point, he's got like a duffel bag, by the way, that's just full of groceries. Cheese, he gets 3 or 4 different kinds of cheese. Shredded cheese. There's the Mexican blend, you gotta have that. There's the Italian blend, you gotta have that. There's pepper jack, it's just slices, but he's like, that'll probably work. There's some breads. He gets some hamburger buns, and then just like half a loaf of like, honey wheat. Some bagels. They're everything bagels. How long do you guys want me to go? Some Pop-Tarts?
Keep going.
He's got some Pop-Tarts. Their pantry is looking pretty empty. He grabs some spaghetti noodles and some lasagna noodles. Just a box of each. No fruits or vegetables. There's nothing that even resembles anything healthy, except the orange juice. And that is Minute-Maid. Like, it's not good. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's it. That's all he can get in his bag. Like, at that point, the bag is full. He does, and then he shoves 1 granola bar in there. Like, he's got to kind of poke it in.
As you skate off from your house, you hear, "God damn it, where's all my cheese?"
Poor Steve trying to make himself a fucking fried egg sandwich in the morning. No bread, no cheese, no hot sauce, dog. My bad. There's still eggs there because Savannah said she had eggs, so he's not going to take the eggs. Steve has to just have plain scrambled eggs this morning.
Poor Steve.
When they get back to Pacific Towers, before they demorph, Savannah will, like, really quickly would just want to send Aximili a thought speak of, do you think it's a good idea to have Maitea do the Flawless maneuver?
She can try. It's not the simplest move to do. I did do it on the first try, though. So.
Amendment, if she is capable.
Yes. Well, I think it is a better option if she's going to be with us for her to have a morph that is not just a copy of one of our team.
Okay. And then she'll just land and demorph.
As you all land, you see the crows just... One stays around just a little bit longer. But then...
What's that one's name?
In the air.
Okay. Zach also got maple syrup and chocolate syrup. I forgot to say.
Nice. Dylan has made a giant, like, she demorphs and instantly goes into the kitchen and just starts taking things out of cabinets. And then as she's, like, taking a bunch of stuff out, she, like, looks at Savannah and she's like, "This okay?"
Please, go ahead.
Sweet. And then she takes a bunch of stuff down and just instantly starts making the most giant bowl of pancake batter.
As you do that, Kamren kind of joins you and reaches in the fridge, and then in front of you, in front of the pancake batter, he puts down this big jar of pickle juice. Dude, try to put some of this in there.
No.
Come on.
No.
Can I have it on mine?
Stop. Yes. Okay. Here's the thing. Big bowl for everyone. Get small bowl. Put whatever you want in it.
Whatever I want.
I don't care. Yeah. That's for you.
He looks at Savannah. Whatever I want?
If Dylan says the small bowl is for whatever you want, then the small bowl is for whatever you want.
Oh, yeah. He goes back into the fridge.
Savannah's going to start making coffee while this is all going down.
Dylan looks over at you. "Oh, you're perfect." "Yes."
No problem. What can I do to help after this?
You can, well, no, we've seen how you chop vegetables. Let's see.
I've watched a YouTube video since then.
Oh, okay. Do you want to chop some vegetables?
If it would help, sure.
Yeah.
You hear bones cracking and organs slushing and gross sounds, and then you hear a voice say, "What can we do to help?" As there's two humans standing behind you now. Max and Dylan.
Weird. This is weird. Wait. Hold on. Maitea.
Yeah.
Do you just like know how to do things that I know how to do?
Like what?
Like cooking. Like are you good at cooking? We need to find this out. This is something that we have to. It's science. You guys, it's science. And she's like, "Come here."
Okay. She comes around.
And Dylan's going to grab an egg out of the carton and take down another big bowl. And she's going to be like, "Crack this egg with one hand and don't get any shell into the bowl."
She takes the egg and looks at it, looks at the bowl, and then just smashes it on the counter.
Okay, see, that's not... Okay, nope. You can go sit out there and watch.
Oh, okay.
But that was a valiant effort.
I will do better next time.
Sweet.
As she walks out, Aximili will say, "Are you going to eat that?" And she looks at her hand.
How close is Savannah to them right now?
I'll say they walked around the corner that you're the side of the counter that you're at making the coffee.
Okay. She's going to immediately back up from the coffee maker, go over, go, "Nope, no, don't eat raw egg. Let's go rinse that off your hand, please."
Yes. She'll wash her hand. And then Kamren will say, "Max, come hang out with me. We can do some eating. We call this pre-eat."
Dylan's gonna turn to them both and be like, "Do not ruin your breakfast."
Oh, don't worry, as he pulls out some mustard. And then bing.
Yeah. Zach walks in. He's lugging a giant duffel bag. And he's got the duffel bag over his shoulder. His backpack on his back and the duffel bag over his shoulder. He's riding the skateboard and he's holding, you know how you got, on your finger? He's looped chocolate syrup and maple syrup. He's just holding them. And he's like, "Hey, I'm late. Sorry, I'm late. Hey, I brought some stuff."
Dylan's rubbing her hands together. She's like, "You're right on time. Come on."
All right. Hell yeah. And then he just puts the duffel bag on the dining room table. I imagine there's a nice dining room setup, and unzips it, and there's just all that stuff I said. And one granola bar on top.
All the humanimals are over the bag and a light just glows up out of it.
Yeah, it's the scene from Pulp Fiction when John Travolta opens the briefcase.
Dylan has her hand over her face and she's just like, and reaches in and is like, "You guys are in for a treat," and pulls out the Fruity Pebbles.
Yeah. Pancakes, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Pancakes. Breakfast sandwich. He points at the Pop-Tarts. You make a sandwich out of those with butter. It's insane. Do we have butter? I didn't get butter.
I believe we have butter.
Okay, good.
Looking at Kamren, side-eyed, I believe we have butter.
Kamren just with a mouthful of butter, with mustard on it. It's butter with mustard on top. Yeah, that classic treat.
Blech.
Blech. Anyway, we make hella breakfast. If Dylan didn't already intend this, I think Zach is gonna get a bowl for everybody and put pancake batter in it, and be like, "Mix stuff in, and then here's how you use a griddle," and he's gonna help.
No. I'll just cook it all. We're gonna cook Kamren's last though.
That's a solid idea.
Yeah.
Save the best for last.
Yep, that's right, buddy.
You say so.
What's your syrup gonna be? No, I don't want to know.
It's gonna be the Frank's hot sauce that Zach brought, right?
We don't have any of that because it's nasty. Zach makes a butterscotch pancake and then a caramel pancake and then a chocolate chip pancake and then puts chocolate syrup and maple syrup on it. And that's what he starts with.
Dylan's pancakes are only Fruity Pebbles pancakes because she loves them. But she's gonna make hers second to last.
That's fair. The whole time this is going on, I think Savannah's just looking between Dylan and Maitea. And then at some point, if she can kind of like, during all the chaos, just go to Maitea and say, do you think you could make a morph of all of our DNA?
I was actually thinking about asking that. Because I do love my Dylan morph, and she like gestures to herself, but I feel like I would be less noticeable with the group if we did not look exactly alike. If Aximili will show me, and with permission, she'll say, I don't think Kamren will give me his, and after me denying Zach, I don't feel comfortable asking him. But if you and Dylan agree, I would use yours.
I will agree, but I can also ask to see if Zach and Kamren are willing as well.
I think 2 would be enough, from what I understand. But I will defer to your judgment.
I think she's just gonna look at Aximili and be like, even if he wasn't part of this conversation, if he's near enough, she'll be like, would 2 be enough to mix DNA together to create another? Would it not be better with more?
It may be actually harder to mix more strains, but 2 is doable.
I don't know what would be best.
If it does not work, you can always try again.
Okay.
Should I do it now?
Why not?
Aximili will turn to her, and as she starts to demorph, he'll say, just concentrate on the subjects. And he his stalk eyes split and look at Dylan and Savannah and picture them melding together and just concentrate. That is what I did. Good luck. You must do it as soon as you acquire them. The faster you start to try, the better chances of success you have.
Savannah's hyper focused on what Axe is saying right now. Whether I don't think that was his intention, but she is taking this all in.
He'll basically he'll go a little further into it, but he'll say things like, picture the DNA strands wrapping around each other and the different breaks, imagine them breaking apart and coming back together as you're recording. And she'll I will give it a shot. And she gets back to her Andalite form. And assuming Dylan's brought into this and take a quick break from her cooking, she'll place her hands on each one of your forearms, and you all feel a tingly sensation where her fingers touch, and your bodies go slack, and you feel in a daze. And then as you all start to come back to, you see Matea changing. You see first her eyes go Savannah green, and then they switch to Dylan green. And her hair grows out fully brown down around her, and then part of it shrinks back up into her head, and there's like a shaved side. And then it grows back out again and shortens. She shrinks, her body shrinks as she becomes more and more human, and she gets shorter than Savannah, and then she gets taller, and then she's about Dylan's height, and then she gets a little bit taller than Dylan. She seems to be concentrating as hard as she can, and then eventually the hair gets to about shoulder length, and it's jet black, and she has a square jaw, but it's rounded square, and like her body gets thin and pale, and then it thickens up a little bit. Still stays kind of pale, and then her eyes keep switching from each color, from Savannah's to back to Dylan's, back to Savannah's, and as the rest of her body settles into this shape, her right eye is Dylan's color, and her left eye is Savannah's green. And she looks at you both and says, "Did it work?"